Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. We've got a very big video today. It's about episode 4, episode 5 of Getting Disappointed by EA Sports. So, in other words, it's another trailer and it is one that I'm actually quite excited for. As I said, we're probably going to end up being disappointed, but it's career mode, something that EA look like they finally might be delivering on. The fact that it's even got its own trailer makes me quite excited for it. So, I just hope it's going to be good and they're not just going to focus on the thing they showed in the original trailer of the like stepping in and stuff like that. Hopefully there is other stuff, as there is stadiums in foot. Hopefully there might be like stadiums extensions and stuff like that in this. Staff would be nice as well. Apparently there's going to be a lot more in-depth transfer negotiations, which is good. So overall I have got high hopes for this. It probably won't have everything we expect, but it would be nice just to see EA giving a little bit of care to career mode, considering they haven't so often. So we're about ready for the trailer to start. I'll do what I normally do. I'll watch it through with you in real time, and we'll go back, we'll break it down by pausing it and trying to focus on the small details, and then we'll check the website for the extra digs of information. The website has had some little gold mines recently for information. Some stuff like squad fitness not being an Ultimate Team just wasn't included on anywhere apart from the website, so it is good that we check that out. So without further ado, I think it's time to watch the career mode trailer. Right guys, we are underway with the career mode trailer. We're just watching the step-in thing right now. Right, training with the whole team is something new, and then we've got loan to buy. Amazing. Wanted to see that, but I'm hoping there is more involved than just that, because okay, we've got player development, active training, new transfer options, enhanced opposition AI. So there isn't anything to do with like stadiums or anything like that, but we'll just see. We'll see. It's okay, you can jump out as well as jumping in, which is quite good. Okay, that's very Football Manager-like, and that is very good to see. What's the diamond thing about it? That was a bit weird. We'll have a closer look at that soon. Player development. Oh, you can change positions. Okay, that's an interesting one. That's good. Yeah. Yeah, that's good. That's a good thing. I'm pretty happy with that. And then development plans is kind of what kind of player you want them to be in that position, I'm guessing. Whether you want them to be a defensive striker, as Liverpool fans would say. Okay, that schedule looks slightly normal, which is good. And then, okay, new training. And you can have recovery days and training days. That's good. Okay, that's clever. That means that you can manage the fitness a lot better. Okay, sharpness is what the diamond means. And then there's fitness as well as the morale, which is good to see. It tells you how much it takes off too. I'm happy with that. Makes it a lot more involved. It makes the training actually have a point, I'm guessing. New transfer options, this could be interesting. Okay, so that looks the same. That's no different at the moment. Okay, basic terms, then loan to buy, they're very different. So, okay, they've got the loan deal, and then they'd organise a price, I'm guessing. Oh, okay, so they can ask for players too. That's good, because that is something that should definitely happen. Enhanced opposition AI, which is already the last one. This hasn't been a very long trailer, EA. So are they literally just saying that the AI is harder to beat? I think the AI is not too bad on career mode personally. Okay, so I'm guessing it means that they're slightly more realistic, which would be good. So okay, that wasn't the most exciting trailer. That was very average. Very average. I mean, how has career mode not got stadiums when Ultimate Team does? I think that's just ridiculous, but then we'll have another look at the website as we normally do. We'll have another look at the trailer as well, I'm guessing. I'm not sure if I even need to. It didn't seem to be anything really interesting there. So I think I might just go straight to the website on this one, because it looks like there's not really too much to break down. Right, so something that has actually reinforced the fact that EA don't really care about career mode is I've gone on the website for FIFA, and so at the top they've got all the different modes. They've got About, they've got Ultimate Team, they've got Community, they've got News and Updates, and they've got Volta. Because everyone plays Volta, don't they? I mean, why would you play career mode when you can play fake FIFA Street? Anyway, yeah, you have to find the career mode notes in the pitch notes, so you have to go onto the news and updates and find them there, which I think, I know it's not a big thing, but I think it shows that EA care about Volta more than career mode, when obviously with the community it's the other way around. So we have got some things to look at though. We've got the interactive match simulation, so it is going to be the most depth we've had about the step in, step out system, and the way the gameplay works, as well as a new match launcher, which I didn't really see about earlier. The player position conversion is something that I'm looking forward to quite a bit, as well as the active training, and I think sharpness, stuff like that. Good idea, but I think EA could have done a bit more. I do think it is going to be an improvement, though, at the very least. So, slightly disappointed at the moment, but it's not too bad, really. So, interactive match simulation is the thing that we saw about stepping in and stepping out. I don't know if you can change stuff in match. It says it's more tactical and faster paced. So you jump in and out, but I don't know if you can actually change your tactics. Okay, you can make substitutions, which is good. There's game plans, so I think that is how you change tactics in-game, but I think they do need to be a bit more transparent on how that works. So a new way to experience match gameplay. So whether you're inside the interactive match sim, or if you're in the actual game, you can see fitness, player ratings, match stats, as well as the game plan, which is the systems teams have adopted on field, as well as their tactics. So that will show you stuff like possession, shots on target, how all the players are doing, as well as stuff like the formation that's being used in the kind of tactics, whether they're on drop back or they're pushing high or stuff like that. The match sim also features audio commentary and stadium atmosphere if you like it, which is interesting. I probably won't have that on, especially if I'm recording. It could be quite loud, but I guess it's good to have. So the new match launcher, this is a bit of a weird one. There's 3 things you can do. You can play match, you can sim match, which uses the match sim, or you can quick sim, which is the same as FIFA 20, where it just skips right to the end and just tells you how the match went on. So I'm probably going to use like a mixture of all 3 throughout, because I do like playing a few games to see how my players cope in games, to see what they're like. But then I also will do some sims where I manage properly, and also if it's like a game that we don't care about, I might just do a quick sim. If it's a dead rubber, I'll probably quick sim it. So player development. Developing a solid and diverse squad that is fit to take you to glory is an integral part of manager experience. We know that, but player growth is determined through XP accumulation. I think that is similar to the way that FIFA 20 works, but I think it might be a little bit more in depth. So all players are on a balanced plan, meaning that all their attributes go up at the same time by default, but then you can set custom development plans for their training, which means you focus on certain attributes rather than wasting XP on attributes you're not interested in. It said so. You've got the major attributes. Okay, big one. You can train the skill moves and you can train weak feet. That's good. That is something that I'm very happy they've done, because you can get some really, really good players, especially through the youth academy, and then they just have like 2-star skills for some reason. So that is very good, and it's much more like real life football. So obviously in real life football you can coach to try and teach players new skills and that kind of thing. So it's good that they've done that, as well as their work rates and specialisation, apparently, which I'm guessing is if they want to be a target man, a poacher, a mobile striker, that kind of thing. Probably throw up some pictures of that for you to see. Player position conversion. So Trent Alexander-Arnold is a very, very good example of this. You can probably see him on the screen now. We've heard the feedback around wanting to have the ability to train players in other positions, so they've done that. Position conversion is mechanically similar to player development, but it's about where the XP gets directed towards. If any of you have played like NBA, I think it's similar to the way builds work there, or it might work similar to pro clubs, you know, where you have your skill points and you can move them around, something like that. Obviously slightly different as it is career mode and you're controlling the whole team, but that kind of concept but changed. I think active training means you have to do like a schedule, so you have training some days, you have rest days other times. So each training day will feature 3 distinct training session slots focusing on specific drill and players. So you can see here we've got like we've got some passing for the midfielders, we've got defending scenarios for the defenders, and then we've got some dribbling for the wingers in the example they've given us of Liverpool Football Club. Multiple players can participate in each drill, up to 15 in each training day, so that is pretty good. That's still not a whole team, but that could be your whole first 11 and like your 4 main substitutes. Every session consists of diverse drills focused on specific areas. You already said that, EA. Training days will be pre-populated with the appropriate drills and players based on the active team sheet. Okay, that's interesting, and you can change it. So, yeah, that's helpful. So, depending on the difficulty, training drills consume different levels of fitness. A more difficult drill is a bigger fitness cost. Makes sense, and that also means you can get like higher boosts to your player rating, so it's more risk, more reward kind of thing, which I think is good. Getting the highest grade will maximise sharpness for players before games. Fitness will be the same regardless of how they perform, so if you perform better you get more sharpness, which is good. So getting them ready for the match basically. And then the more difficult the drills are, the higher skill you get, which is quite obvious. So the sharpness output also depends on the number of players. If there's more players, they'll get more sharpness kind of thing. So player sharpness itself, this is how it works. It goes from 0 to 100. 50 is the baseline, that's average, so that's like having yellow morale. 50 to 100 means that their attributes will be inflated, and sharpness between 0 and 50 means they'll be reduced. So, if we had a striker and they're on 100, they'll get some boosts, like they'll get 5 more finishing, 4 better positioning, 3 better control, and 3 better shot power. So, I'll just show Mbappe as an example here, as you can see in the picture. And then if you have 0 sharpness, he gets reduced a bit. So it does actually affect their rating properly, which is good. So, player feedback system. This is how they get annoyed at you, I think, how they email you and stuff like that. If you're playing them in the wrong position, if they're sharp and you don't play them, that kind of thing. Team schedules as well. Training days, yes, we've already talked about. Recovery days is regaining fitness, but it does decrease sharpness apparently. And a rest day regains less fitness than a recovery day, but it doesn't affect sharpness as much. So you can make yourself a whole plan here basically, which is quite good. It's a good addition, I think, personally. The monthly calendar is still going to exist, but you can also use it to look at your weekly schedule normally. So transfers. These are important. So modern day transfer market has been going through some changes and they want to reflect that in FIFA. Loan to buy. Yep, good. I'd be using that. If any of you watch my Save in Sunderland career mode, players on like Williams, Twanzebe, those kind of players, I'd probably use that. They can offer swap deals, which I think is good because that's quite helpful. And then contract renewal improvements. Didn't hear about this. The AI-controlled clubs can perform contract renewals based on the club's rank, so you won't see top players becoming free agents. Okay, that's good. So additional improvements are onboarding, which is, I don't really know what this is. It says, we're taking the first step in the direction of teaching players the purpose of each system in career mode. So basically telling people how stuff works, doing tutorials similar to Foot, I think. And then in previous years, we gradually introduced new UI elements that were specific to the competition you were playing in. FIFA 21, they've just added more branding, which no one really cares about for the Premier League and UCL, stuff like that, so people don't care. They've redesigned the press conferences, so they impact the whole team, because you can see the morale basically doesn't carry over to the match. And the morale basically does... morale does have more of an effect, and it's harder to maintain morale. So established youth academy. Interesting. When you take on the manager, you no longer have to start by setting up a youth academy. You already have a youth academy with some players in there, but they might not be very good. So there's a chance one of them players could be good maybe, and that's where the homegrown talent for pre-ordering the game comes in from. So yeah, it says they'll just be waiting in that youth academy that you've made. So financial takeover, they've changed as well. So you can set the amount of cash you want your club to have as part of a financial takeover, so it can be, you can give them a massive amount. So I can finally do realistic Premier League profits. So when you go up from the Championship, they give you 8 million. In real life, for winning the playoffs, you get around 100 million. So it's very, very different, and you can kind of sort that out for yourself now. So some people always enjoy the fact that you can build a star-studded team without any limits. Others might feel breaking authenticity is a bad thing. So you have strict negotiation, which means that clubs won't be interested in taking offers from rivals. So, for example, Tottenham will not let Harry Kane go to Arsenal, that kind of thing. Players won't be interested in a move to lower-ranked clubs or clubs to have a grudge against. So, again, a West Ham player wouldn't move to somewhere like Millwall, even on loan, because of like the rivalry kind of thing. Players with one club player trait won't be interested in joining another club. Again, I'll use a West Ham example here because that's the club I know most about supporting him. So someone like Mark Noble or historically someone like Steven Gerrard probably wouldn't move to another club. And you won't be able to approach players that have been signed for less than a year instead of 6 months now. So you can set negotiation to loose instead, and it takes all of these off and it plays like old career mode. But I think I'll do the strict negotiation, thinks it is more realistic. Player retirement triggers only if the player was in the final year of their contract. So veteran players can push retirement further, because you would have seen, again, if you've watched me play my career mode, that yeah, some of the players, just literally anyone who's old just retires first season, even though it's unrealistic. So they fixed an issue with player personality and emotion in the youth, where they had where the regens didn't have the right stats and stuff like that. No one really cares about the regens that much, though, I don't think, personally. Loan and transfer negotiations, they've identified and fixed some issues where the players were getting annoyed. Stuff like, yeah, free agents. I don't really know what this is all about, but it's just release clauses and stuff like that. It's just more realistic contracts, I think. They've waffled a bit. And then they've also included some better broadcast experiences. So they've done a full refresh of the overlay packages for Ligue 1. So if you want to try and take down PSG, that's pretty interesting. But there's iconic atmosphere at some clubs. Following in the steps of Liverpool, Real Madrid, Manchester City. How do Manchester City have an iconic atmosphere? If an iconic atmosphere is literally nothing, then good. Authentic goal music for Chelsea, Dortmund and Inter, as well as proper broadcast packages for Chelsea, Dortmund, AC Milan and Atletico. The only one that I literally think is good is Dortmund. They're the only one with an iconic atmosphere out of that whole lot, to be honest with you. New broadcast stories will be picked up by commentators to talk about the manager of the month, debuts of new players, returning from injury, players facing their previous club, which is something I talk about quite a lot, milestones for matches played, new tifos for Man City. Why do they care so much about Man City when no one supports them? And new crowd card designs for select clubs, which no one really cares about. So, good stuff in there, but for some reason they're really catering this towards Man City fans, which makes no sense at all. I don't know why, but overall, I think it's good for what they're doing, but yeah, it could be better, couldn't it, really? They could have done more with the kits, they could have done more with the stadium. I don't know if there's licensing issues, there probably is, but I think that could have been better. But I'm happy with the way they've made it more Football Manager-like. There is more for you to do than just buy players, so throughout the entire year, you've got to focus on training and changing players and developing them, stuff like that. So overall, not perfectly happy, but happier than I expected to be. So I think, yeah, I've done okay with this one. We'll just see if it actually works in game. But they're my closing thoughts. Let me know what you think down below, everyone. That's going to be all from me for this one. And I will see you very soon for an Ultimate Team stream. Goodbye.